What is going on, everybody? It's Anthony here for Superpower Review. Welcome to the live stream. What's that comic book? Man, a lot of people love the show. I get so much feedback from the show every single week, and it's fantastic. To anybody who's watching this on the rewind, if you do not know what's that comic book, it's pretty much where I hang out for people from the comic book community. We spend 1 hour pulling comic books from our collection and try to give as much information about that comic book as possible. I'm really excited to introduce today's guest. But before I do that, again, guys, don't forget to smash that like button if you like today's content. If you're watching this on the rewind, let me know what was your favorite book that you saw in today's live stream. And don't forget to click on that subscribe button to show your support. There's a massive giveaway coming on the channel very, very soon, so be on the lookout for that. Details on that giveaway will be coming shortly. So let's meet our panel, shall we? We have a packed panel as always. Let's see what we got. Who do we have? All right, look at this panel. Look at this lively panel. Look at everybody. Cool, man. Hey, so let's take some turns, introducing each other, and we'll start off with Jeff. Oh, you're muted, buddy.
I knew that. I knew I was muted. As soon as I just remembered at that moment. So this is Jeff at Geek Driven, part of the Team Nerd Herd podcast, and I am so grateful to be here. Oh wow,
you're big now.
Wow, now I know what you guys are seeing. I don't even see my own display.
I'm putting you on the spot.
So I really appreciate being here. I am fairly new to the community. I've only been in the community probably for like a year, and I'm grateful that Michelle asked that I come on as well. So I can't wait to show off some cool books that I own and hear about everybody else's books. So
very cool. I appreciate you coming by, man.
Thank you so much.
Magic Lasso.
Well, I am the first of two Ryans that you are getting as part of the panel tonight. So I'm Ryan. I'm Magic Lasso. I've been on YouTube for about 2.5 years now. Judging by the username, you probably know that I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan, which I am.
I would
say I haven't met a Bronze Age comic book that I haven't enjoyed, because Bronze Age is kind of my jam. I'm excited to be back on the Superpower channel again and to be on the show specifically. It's a fantastic show. And I'm looking forward to seeing even myself what I'm going to be sharing with you.
I appreciate you coming in, man. I can't wait to see what you got. Ryan, Ryan 1 or 2.
Yeah, I'm the other Ryan. It's Ryan with Automatic Comics. I've been on YouTube around 1.5 years now, and so been on this on Kevin's show here before. It's always lots of fun. Get to see lots of cool books, and yeah, happy to be back.
Sweet. I'm happy you're back too, man. It's been a while. And then Michelle.
Yeah. Hey, guys. I'm Michelle, a.k.a. Moonlit Comics on Instagram mainly. Very new to YouTube now. I just started up a channel, so you can find me over there under the same name. Like the first Ryan, I'm a big Bronze Age comic collector. I love horror comics, but I've kind of been branching out into all sorts of stuff, and I'm excited to be back for my second appearance on What's That Comic Book. So thank you for having me, Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely. And last but not least, we got Aaron.
What's up, guys? Happy to be back. Thanks for having me, Kev. This is a great show. Really enjoy it. Any kind of venue where you can just talk books. I think I've been doing the YouTube thing almost 2 years, 1.5 years. I think I started right after Ryan, even though his channel blew up and I had children, so that's how that goes. But yeah, this is a great show. I'm looking forward to it. I collect everything, I think, from modern to golden age. So looking forward to seeing what everyone brings tonight.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time out of your Saturday to come and nerd out with me. And thank you to the people who are watching, nerding out with us tonight. Really appreciate you all. Again, guys, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you guys go to this video's description down below, you guys can find all the links to these people's social media. You can find their YouTube channels. You can find their Instagram pages. So make sure you guys show them some love and support after the show, or just click off here for a quick second and go show them some love. I don't mind. All right. So Jeff, you wanna start us off? He's in the hot seat again.
And he's muted
I
again.
think he's
Muted
muted.
again.
He did. What a rookie.
Yeah, there we
I
go.
go first. I was like, no, not me. But okay.
Oh, you got this, Jeff. You got this.
Not a worry. Actually, today was a really busy day. I'm a little frazzled because I literally just got home like a half an hour before the show. I've been out since 10 a.m. and I was hanging out with a bunch of people from the community. So a couple of my Team Nerd Herd podcast members, Robert from the Low Grades, John's Comics with Kids, JD Raging Cajun Comics. So I had a really fun day. We went comic book crawling, and I picked up something I didn't think I was gonna find in the wild, and the price I got it for is ridiculous.
All right, I'll make you big.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So I got this for cover price.
Oh man, nice.
Wow.
And I honestly don't believe anybody who was with me noticed that I did that. So
The comic shop probably thought you stole it. I'm just kidding.
That is how you do it.
I'm just amazed, and I love this book. It's got an introduction of quite a few characters in here, and you get to see all these new Asian characters. And I love the fact that it's a lot of the text is like translated, so from the different languages, and it's just basically a team being put together, almost their first time becoming the Agents of Atlas, or at least being deemed Agents of Atlas by Jimmy Woo, and this is why I love this comic, is because they go to the Philippines, they go to Korea, they're in like the Asian waters, oceans, and so they're just trying to fight off a couple of I don't know what I want to call them, fire demons, and what they realize is they're actually being tricked. They took they kind of tricked two of the most powerful characters. What's up, Inja? And they tricked them to go in the middle of the ocean while the real fight was going to be in Korea. So they conquered and divided them so that I want to say the queen of Mesophiline. I don't know if I said that right. But
Sounds good to me.
they arrived and they basically are going to take over like I guess that region, and this team is being put together, and they realize that they're not a real team because they're kind of messing things up, and it kind of stops there. So I haven't gone any further than that. This is just issue 1. So, and we all know that Agents of Atlas is a good spec. We know that Jimmy Woo exists in the MCU. Shang-Chi exists in the MCU. Ms. Marvel is coming. So there's all kinds of good spec in this book, and everyone knows. And just one of the, I believe it's the C cover. So it's got Malekith. It's got, I believe that's Malekith, Spider-Man, Thor, and Cap.
Yeah, because that's not actually a cover I recognize. Like I usually see the other ones out there. So
yeah, when I saw this, I was just like, "There's no way this is sitting in this box."
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a great feeling.
Great score. I think I have like the 3rd print version of that.
That's a good one to have. Yeah. I do
I
have the
don't
first
know
print.
So thank you for the breakdown, because I'm brand new to that world.
And then we have Paul who's saying that that comic is locked and loaded, just waiting to explode. So pretty good spec on that book right there. So Jeff, you know, as I had you big and blown up, right, I really got to also appreciate everything you have in the background there. And holy cow, man, you really need to just do a tour of your cabinets there, because I am so interested in everything you have in there.
I was supposed to do that for TM Nerdy. He asked me to do I guess a tour of all my collections, like from everything from my sports collections to my comic books to my toys, and I just haven't gotten everything together yet because I'm preparing for a small local con. And this is the first time I'm ever doing that too. So I'm nice. Kind of nervous in everything I'm doing, and I'm just trying to do everything at the first try. I don't care. Try,
one day,
fail,
one
and
day you'll give us a tour.
Whatever.
Yeah.
is coming down the line.
And when it happens,
That's why whenever somebody asks me that, I'm like, it's just back there.
No, sir, no, Ryan. I know you have a lot of really great books.
But there's no like room that they're like displayed. Like that is the display. That's the entire tour.
Me and Ryan are almost similar. I just have my one shelf, and his shelf is bigger than mine. Mine is just a small, skinny shelf from IKEA. It's got statues.
This is Walmart.
That is it. And then like there's one day where I'm like, one day I'll have something like Jeff. One day.
my heart feels for you.
Recently, this shelf back here that didn't exist until right after Christmas. So I feel like very professional now, with my
Nice.
shelf full of toys and comics.
Yeah, I'll just look at my stuff. It's a sunny day. I'll have the window open. I'm like, that's my statues. That's my stuff.
Yeah, it's true. No, I've had a couple of people ask me for a room tour. I was like, "There's no room." They're like, "I've seen your videos." I was like, "Yup, it's this wall right here, and the rest of the room has to do with like my family. There's no room." So
Yeah, and then I just keep my comics away, like that. They're just not important children. I only take them out of the dark when I need pictures of them.
I rotate mine out. That's part of why I did it, because I felt like I was never really like looking at them, and so I was like, at least this way, like I can rotate out a few every once in a while and I can see them.
Slabs are just in a very, very dark drawer, and they're only allowed to come out when it's picture time.
But you can just tell if you look at my display and then you look at everybody else's. You know who the Bachelor is, so that's all. That's all it is. No one's here telling me what I can and can't display. That's all.
There you go.
And I'm lucky. I had an extra room that wasn't being used for anything but storage. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take this over. This is now my comic and record fun room / office now, and I love it. Actually, Kevin, I thought of you when I put up the Swamp Thing figure, because you did your unboxing for it. I love that. It's the best.
Isn't that one of the sickest figures, man? Holy cow.
So dope. Yeah.
I love that figure. All right, continuing on. Ryan, what do you got for us? If it's not Wonder Woman, I'm going to cry, dude. Magic Lasso. Magic Lasso, Ryan. Yes.
So last time I was on What's That Comic Book, I didn't show any Wonder Woman until my last turn, and people had gotten worried. So we're going to make a Wonder Woman from the beginning. It's not that often I can have something Wonder Woman that actually corresponds to my YouTube channel. So about a week and a half ago, and this is what I mean by corresponds to my YouTube channel. About a week and a half ago, I kind of gave the channel a little bit of a makeover, and I got a new avatar. This is the first time I've gotten a new look to my page and a new avatar since I started on YouTube. And my comic book that I'm going to show is kind of what inspired that new look. So from March of 1979, we have Wonder Woman Volume 1, issue number 253. This cover is Jose Delbo and Dick Giordano, and then Jose Delbo does the interiors as well with Jack Harris' story. So this is part 2 of a 2-part story. And I'm going to give you some spoilers on this, but first of all, I'm going to tell you that this is not even available digitally yet from DC. There's a huge gap of Wonder Womans that they don't have from the Bronze Age available digitally. And unfortunately, this is one of those, but this is a really good 2-part story. So Astarte is the villain in this story, and she's the Empress of the Silver Snake. And in this issue, we find out that her body contains the spirit of the dead Amazon Diana, with whom Wonder Woman was named after. Very emotional ending kind of to this story too, because she's not even aware of this. So this main image here with Wonder Woman with the belt and the sword, instantly DC Comics statted this, and they made like an 11x17 poster of it just with an orange background. So just this main image with the orange background. And that was for sale soon after this book originally came out. But then maybe about a dozen years ago or so, they licensed out the full image of this with the background art as well, and made a notebook out of it. And they also made a folder out of it as well too. So, and sold that when it was about time to go back to school. Now, at one point, I'm not still sure if this is available or not, but Jose Delbo had prints of this cover that he was selling during his convention appearances. So there's still some of those that are floating around here and there online and stuff too from previous conventions that he's attended. So that is my first submission for What's That Comic Book, a fantastic Bronze Age story. Like I said, you can't even find it digitally. It's not that expensive. It's worth it if you can run into it, though. But look at that cover. It's just amazing for Wonder Woman Volume 1, number 253.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful. Look at this man with the knowledge. Dropping that knowledge. School is in session, people.
And I love your new avatar or profile,
Thank you.
by the way.
Yeah, it looks
Thank
nice. A couple of things, right? Only Magic Lasso would know which issues of Wonder Woman are not digital yet. Number two, I think Dick Giordano is a classic comic book artist that isn't recognized enough.
Oh, I agree. I mean, his contributions to comic books are
It's huge.
phenomenal. And, you know, Jose Delbo, we're fortunate enough, he's still with us. He's in his 80s, but he is still with us, too. And that's another guy, you know, besides Wonder Woman, he did a lot of Bronze Age Batgirl, especially if you bought the Batgirl omnibuses from the Bronze Age. That is just chock full of his work. He did some Transformers, I believe it was, too. He doesn't get a lot of credit either, but I'm a huge fan of that guy's work, too.
Nice. Awesome. All right, Ryan, Automatic Comics, your turn.
All right. So I'm trying to do more DC in this one because I feel like DC doesn't always get as much love as it deserves. So got kind of like a random group of slabs back here, so I'm just gonna grab one.
Yeah, I've been working on them, guys. Don't worry. I've been working on them behind the scenes.
All right.
Good. You guys do the slabs. I have no slabs tonight.
I have some raws too, so I can rotate. But
Yeah.
So this is a book I just picked up pretty recently. So this is More Fun Comics, number 74. And so what this is it's got this cool Dr. Fate cover, but this is the second appearance of Aquaman, Speedy, and Green Arrow. So
Wow.
it's a pretty huge key with respect to DC with a lot of those characters being in here. So their first appearances are actually all just one issue earlier in 73. And I can't remember his name, but there's after when I posted this one on Instagram, there's somebody that has a raw copy that he linked his to my post, and so I got to see the interior for it. It's really cool. I mean, like the Aquaman art and the Green Arrow art and everything is really great on the interior. Unfortunately, they aren't on the cover, but Dr. Fate is another one that's I think those are fun books to try to get right now, just because we know that character is going to be in the next Black Adam movie. And so we don't know how they're going to be used, but I think that's a kind of a cool character for them to bring up. But yeah, I love these Golden Age books because just like even the back, the art and everything on the back is just really detailed, and you could just tell that they put a lot of work into it. But yeah, no, I mean, so this is I've been trying to pick up the occasional, if I can, like the bigger Golden Age keys, because they're so few and far between, for those first appearances or second appearances, that kind of thing. And so yeah, this is because that first appearance is a book that I'll never own that. It's a little outside of my price range, but once you get into those second appearances, it gets a little more affordable. But yeah, I was happy with this one. It's a nice presenting copy. It's got like a crease. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a crease on the back. There's some things that drop it down, but I do feel like it might have a chance at a slightly higher grade, but still very very happy with this one. But yeah, second appearance of three now pretty big DC characters, because when I talked to one of my buddies about Aquaman, he was a really long time reader, and he's like, Aquaman was always just for a long time kind of like a joke, and he's exploded now, and he's just such a more popular character now, thanks to Jason Momoa. So yeah, so it's good that they're able to grow those characters. I mean, it's a lot like what Marvel has done with the MCU. I mean, they had a lot of their lower tier characters, and they've made them extremely popular, and it seems like DC might be on the same pathway with that. So
gorgeous book. Gorgeous book. And I can't wait to see what they do with Dr. Fate. I think it's way overdue to have characters like Dr. Fate on the silver screen, honestly.
DC has always seemed like they're too afraid to take risks with like their non-A-list characters. And but Marvel, they've shown that you can, as long as you make the characters relatable and everything, I mean, people gravitate to them.
I'll tell you a funny story, right? Because you said Marvel uses characters that no one really cared about. I remember the day when they announced that they were going to make, oh Jesus, why can I? Guardians of the Galaxy, yes. And I was like, they're gonna do Rocket Raccoon. Like, come on! Like, how do you do Rocket Raccoon? And they did it. They did it. They did it well.
Like one of my favorite little meme things I saw back when they did that was something like executives at DC like, we don't know if we're ready to have a female character, and then Marvel's like, we've got a talking tree and a raccoon. Like, you can do anything. It's like, come on, give us a break. And and Wonder Woman was there. I mean, that's arguably the best property one of the best properties they put out. Like, other than not 1984, that was
no,
that had some problems.
It's not good. but the first one was great.
But
first one,
it was not Catwoman. It was not Catwoman.
Nothing's Catwoman.
True.
I just want to make sure we got perspective out there.
Yeah,
that's true.
And Ryan, that's a beautiful 3.5. It presents really well, at least what we can see here.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I remember when I first got it in person. I was like, this is a 3.5? Like, because I'd seen some other 3.5s of that same book, and they had like really big sun shadows and things on them that just really detracted from the cover. But that one, that's why I feel like it could have a chance at a 4. But man, cracking out books like that, and then
scary.
You're automatically in that high tier for cost, and so you're spending a bunch of money to possibly get a 3 back. It's like you never really know for sure if you're going to get that better grade or not. So it's just it's an expensive gamble.
Not many people show that book, so that was awesome that you showed that.
Was
you
awesome.
Don't see that coming up, people showing that in their feeds and stuff. So that's awesome.
I had never seen it before. Yeah.
We had a couple of people who expressed their shock with that book. We had Azor's Tiger and Sector 2815. Excuse me while I clean up my drool. Get that mop going.
I had to get the smelling salt because I almost fainted. Yeah, the reason why you don't see that book is because it's not an easy book to find. It's a very
there aren't many graded. I think Universal, it's something like maybe 40. It might be less than that. It's somewhere in that range.
Ryan, did you say what year it was?
I believe that's 1941. It might be 1940. Yeah, 1941, December 41.
Wow, yep. Crazy.
Old enough to be your great grandpa.
Yeah.
I love the Golden Age books. That's been the big shift that I've made over the last about year. It's just I hadn't really been into Golden Age much at all until I started. Is when I got on Instagram. I started seeing people post these pictures, and I was like, "There's some awesome stuff from the Golden Age." And so when you just start diving into it, and you realize it's a big time. It's a big block of time. There are a ton of books from that time period, and there's a lot of really cool stuff.
I have no Golden Age yet in the collection. 0, none.
Same, yeah.
It's dangerous. Don't do it.
It is dangerous, dude. There's been a couple of times where I'm on eBay and I'm dipping my toe, and I'm just like, no, I'm getting out of here.
the pre-code horror is what I really started getting into. That stuff has some, because I know Moonlit Comics. You mentioned that you've got some Bronze Age horror stuff, and so you could start diving into the Golden Age horror. There's some cool stuff.
I'm gonna have to start with Silver Age. I'll work my way.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's
you
a good
Golden Age. You go broke.
Like I said, I'll just sell my soul and become a Golden Age collector. But no, I have started to kind of dive into Silver Age just a little bit. So I brought a couple tonight to show you guys.
Well, it's your turn, so let's see it.
Okay, all right. So the first one I'm going to show, I've been starting to try to collect some more Doctor Strange stuff. I was focusing on the Marvel premiere run and his first solo series after that, but I randomly came across some Strange Tales issues at Baltimore Comic-Con for a great price, and I could not pass up Strange Tales 127. Wow. So this is from 1964. This is a Jack Kirby cover. And
it's a nice looking copy too.
Thank you. Yeah, it's in pretty decent condition. I think I paid like $40 for it, which I thought wasn't that bad considering that This is the second appearance of Dormammu. The second appearance of Clea. I'm not quite sure how to say her name, but it's her second appearance, although she's not named yet in this issue. It's also the first appearance or the first battle between Doctor Strange and Dormammu, the first appearance of the Mindless Ones, and it's the first appearance of the Eye of Agamotto and the Cloak of Levitation that is gifted to Doctor Strange in this issue by the Ancient One. So I was just like floored when I saw and realized how important this book was, and it's so under the radar in the Strange Tales run. So I think it's a super awesome book to have, and I was really happy to find it. So yeah, one of my few Silver Age comics that I'm happy to own.
That sounds like one jam-packed comic right there.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
Oh, you got a Zorius Tiger with the help.
And then the story was written by Stan Lee with Steve Ditko art on the Doctor Strange story. So.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, like those runs where they don't. I mean, it kind of has his name in the title, but like those runs just always, they never seem to get the credit they deserve. Like the pricing, that like when they're named after the character that's leading it, like Iron Man or Amazing Spider-Man or whatever. Like when you've got like Tales of Suspense and Tales to Astonish, Strange Tales, they're more affordable than they should be. Like that. There's so many big things in there.
Yeah, I agree. I am on the hunt for a Strange Tales or 169, Doctor Strange 169, because
that book has just exploded.
I know. I really want it though. But until then, there's a lot of Strange Tales books before then that are pretty cool and easy to find for affordable prices, just like that one. So yeah,
awesome.
Guys.
My advice is to get that Doctor Strange book probably by the end of the year.
Yeah, it is one on my 2022 Grail or hunt list, actually. So I'll be looking around.
Cool.
You got a car, you could sell that. I mean, take.
Yeah, I mean, I work from home. I don't really need that anymore, right?
Just so you know, you can't survive with having one kidney. So.
Yeah.
I knew where he was going.
Depending on the grade, that still might not be enough.
Yeah.
That's how expensive that book has gotten. It's like 9/8, like $20,000. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking for a lower grade. Well,
even nine above, they've all broken. I think 1,000. I mean, it's really shocking how that book has jumped.
Yeah. So you're saying it goes from car payment money into house payment money? That's how I refer to the tiers now with buying books. I was like, that book costs car payment money, and then this book is house payment money. That's how I.
And then it gets to like just house money.
Yeah. Sell your soul money.
Yeah.
There's levels.
Dangerous. It's getting dangerous. Just house money. That's danger. Yikes. All right, Aaron, your turn.
I'm gonna go with a different era. How many turns we get? We get a few turns. I gotta make sure.
What fills an hour.
Oh man. All right, I'm gonna go with this one. The 90s always get hate, but I'm gonna go with this classic 90s book right here.
Whoa.
Okay.
So this is Static 45. This is the final issue of the original Static run. It's a Mobius cover and pretty scarce. Supposedly less than 5,000 issues of this. So that's awesome. It's a 9.2 because it has a couple color breaking ticks. I bought this raw. I knew it wasn't going to be a 9.8. Bought this probably a couple of years ago. I sort of nailed it at just the right time because I think I either bought this shortly after or shortly before there was the announcement about Static. Yeah. So this is after Static 1 and Static 2, which is the origin. This might be one of the more important ones just because it's the final issue. It's a fantastic cover.
It's the only other one that I usually like see, from the run. Like when people are talking about Static, it's like that issue and number 1. I feel
Yeah,
like
that is same.
It's 145. I think 2 a little bit eventually, especially once we get closer to actual casting and like if there's ever a trailer drop, I think 2 will start to go just because 1 will go way up. I actually just picked up a Static 1, the Platinum Edition one.
Yeah,
I
nice.
found a really great price on that. But I grew up with the Static cartoon, and this cover is amazing. So also, so I'm doing a theme. Everything will either be Batman or it's February, so Black History Month oriented. So that's
cool.
That's what's going down. I'm trying to stay on task here, but yeah, this is my first one. But everyone always hates on the 90s, and there's some really cool books from the 90s. I think
who's hating on the 90s? Who are they? Tell them. I'll mess them up.
So I think
that's a great pick, Aaron.
I think there's some really great. I think we're about done with that, but for a while, everyone would always poo-poo the 90s, and I'm just like, but there's some good stuff from the 90s.
It's like 30 years ago now. I mean, it's it's like antiques, right?
Gosh,
It's not really a new comic anymore.
Antique now?
Thanks, we're antiques. Great.
Oh no.
Thanks, Ryan.
What's that meme about everyone born in the 1900s? Have you seen that meme?
Yeah.
And I was like, I see it, and the comic book collector in me is like, you take it back.
In fighting words, get off my lawn.
Oh, man.
Too young for this. Anyways, yeah.
For real.
Pick number 1.
Cool. All right. So, guys, that was round 1. Stick around for round 2. Again, guys, if you're watching this, don't forget to smash that like button. If you are watching right now and would like to be a potential guest on What's That Comic Book, you can easily just message me on Instagram at KarateKevin67. A link to my Instagram is in this video's description down below. And again, don't forget to show love and support to the panel members. All their links that you need to subscribe and follow to are down below. All right, what do you guys want to see? You guys want to see something from the DC box? I got the back issue Marvel box. We also have the box of Raw Keys, and I have the unread pile.
Let's do Raw Keys.
Yeah.
Raw Keys.
Do it. Ryan, that sounded like Rocky for a minute. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yeah, let's do a Rocky. Yeah.
I like
There might be a comic book with him in there. I'm sure there is at some point.
Yeah.
All right, we're not going to do that one
Choice next round.
because I'm sure if you guys follow me, you can imagine what it was already because there's freaking 6 of them in here. I pulled it again, damn it.
Secret Wars 8?
No, the next best thing.
How many copies of Carnage you got? Or
Amazing
ASM
Spider-Man 300?
How many? How many you got, Kevin?
300, I have 8 copies.
8?
Secret Wars 8, I have 8 copies. Look, War Machine knows. Look at it. I love this guy right here. Keanu Keys. That's right.
I think I'm bad with calendar, man. Jeepers.
What was the other one? ASM 361. 4 copies. That one's got to catch up. That one's got some explaining to do. Oh, all right. One of my favorite series here. It's kind of cliche, maybe a little bit, but got Wolverine #1. Love this cover right here. This is one of my favorite covers. This is when I found this is the Frank Miller I like right here. I like Frank Miller's artwork in this. After Marvel, Frank Miller kind of goes downhill for me a little bit. Not as a writer, as an artist. Classic Wolverine story. I mean, if you're into Wolverine, you have to read this. I mean, you're crazy to not read this. And I can't believe how much these sets are going for these days. Like, I think like if you get the full run, it's like $200 like for 4 of them now or something like that. Maybe even more, dude. I think it's kind of crazy. Like when I bought mine on eBay, like 4 of them were for $80, and they're pretty good. They're pretty in maybe 9-ish. I would say 9-ish.
Yeah, I don't think we can get them for $80 and maybe
No.
one of them for $80.
Oh my god, I can't believe some of the prices on these Wolverine books now. But this is, in my opinion, this is my favorite rendition of Wolverine. You know what I mean? You see him in the X-Men books. He pops his claws and he just kind of like waves them at people. Doesn't really do anything. You know what I mean? Unless there's a robot or something, and then like you get to see him kind of do something or open a door.
Don't let Azores hear you say that.
Unruly Simeon, I'm with you. Ronin was an amazing first book at DC. I'm gonna let it slide because I like Kevin, but I like Ronin. I'm gonna let it slide.
I haven't read Ronin yet. So I don't know what Ronin is, which is shocking because me being into martial arts and loving the Japanese culture, you know, you think I would pick it up. It is. I will agree with you.
Mail it to him, Aaron.
Tonight, overnighted.
Drop the knowledge. Just send it over. Yeah, Wolverine #1. Definitely the Wolverine that you definitely would want to see. You know, popping claws, actually stabbing things, killing people. You know what I mean? That's
how to get that little comics code thing up in the corner.
They didn't care anymore. They're just like a comic book, yeah, whatever. send it down the line. Who gives a fuck anymore? All right. Let's see, Jeff, it's your turn.
Oh, all right.
Round 2.
Round 2.
I'm
Fight.
trying to think of what I want to pick here. Okay, I'm actually gonna pick one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite runs of Superman stories. But this is actually the incentive cover for the first book issue.
Oh.
So this is All-Star Superman #1. And this is actually my personal copy that I got graded. And obviously you can tell I got it graded quite a while ago. This is an old case. This is one of the best runs, like I said. It just tells like an end run of Superman. It builds his legend of being this superhero for hundreds and hundreds of years. He inspires other people to become heroes. And it kind of tells you that he has cancer. And if you guys relate to what's going on right now in the Superman comic books, Superman has some kind of disease and it's killing him. And this is kind of what I relate it to, is this run where he had I don't know, I can't say it's cancer. It's something like he was overloading on the sun. And it was killing
overdosing on it.
Yeah, he's basically overdosing on it, and his cells were breaking down. And so he even teamed up with Lex Luthor to try to help him prolong his life. They created a suit. So it is a wonderful story, telling you basically the ending of Superman, how he sacrifices himself. It's kind of like the 10 feats or 12 feats of Hercules, and this is that run. It's just all Superman doing all these huge feats. He saves a world. He saves all these people. He creates these new heroes. So it's just an inspiration, this book.
When did it come out, Jeff?
Let's see. It came out in 2006.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So when I was still collecting, I had stopped for a while, but I was still collecting then, and this was an amazing run. So I actually recommend that people read this run, and it'll help you prepare for what's happening in the actual Superman books today.
Awesome. Cool.
Super cool.
So when did you get that one graded?
I did get it graded back in 2006.
Oh, in 2006. Okay, because they kept that case style for quite a few years. So
yeah,
it could be anywhere from almost I think 2003 to like 2014 or 2015.
I got it.
Yeah,
very
let's see,
close.
2014.
I think only a couple of years earlier was when they still had the red labels and all that other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
that was like 2003 was like the turning point for that.
And this was never pressed.
And and did you read that one too?
No, I actually have the A cover. So I have all the A covers for 1 through 12, and I read those covers. So I was not touching this one.
Cool.
And it's not worth much. It's just what I like.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Vancouver, you're too nice, man. You're too kind.
He is so sweet.
He is.
He's here every other Saturday. I feel like he's the best. He is the best panelist.
TJ, when the hell are you gonna come on here already? Quit working already. Stop working and come on my channel, damn it. All right, right.
He could be on here right now. He's in
I
the
know. He's probably watching from work. Get in here, damn it. Man, have you ever seen that guy's stack of comic books? We did a video together. Dude's comic books is crazy. He's got stacks all over the place, crashes into them at night.
Oh no. That'd be my nightmare.
Yeah, nightmare.
All right, Magic Lasso. What do you got?
Okay, to save a little time, I randomly pulled the book when it was not my turn here, and I saw this book come up, and I'm happy that this came up, but I'm asking for forgiveness for its condition, because you're going to see chipping all over the side, but this is just a book that you don't see people show that often. So that's why I was really happy that it came up. Have you guys seen Comic Reader number 167?
Oh my.
Wow.
No, I haven't seen that before.
Not that
So,
issue. No.
so we're going to forgive all of this chipping here. Oh,
Unforgivable.
We're going to forgive all of that. But let me tell you a little bit about this. So this is April of 1979, and John Byrne did this, and he took the new X-Men team and put them in the original X-Men team's costumes. And yes,
right.
that is Wolverine.
No.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
Whoa.
And a lot of the collectability to this is the fact that you just don't see this image anymore. And that's what I loved about Comic Readers. They had a lot of original images, not only on the front, but on the back covers too, that you haven't seen other places. On the back cover of this issue, it has a character I'm not real familiar with called Manimal. Has anyone heard of Manimal before?
No.
But it's an Ernie Coleman image on the back cover. So if you're one of the collectors that likes the or buys into the true first appearance, meaning the first time that an appearance of a character is shown anywhere, then this is the first appearance of Black Cat. Because the image of Black Cat in this comic book predates her ASM 194. So for those that don't know, Comic Reader is a fanzine. It's a news fanzine. It lasted from 1961 through 1984. They did 219 issues. They eventually went out of business because of a competition called Amazing Heroes, a magazine that started in 1981, kind of took them out of business. But this was the internet for comic book fans before there was an internet, because for the first time, you heard about storylines that were going to happen. You read creator interviews. You saw covers for comic books before they appeared on the spinner rack. There's a preview for Batman 313 within this issue as well. So Comic Readers, the majority of them aren't so expensive, but they're just hard to find. You just don't see them in circulation that much. Now, this issue in a really nice condition does go for a little bit more, just because of the fact that the X-Men collectors are looking for that John Byrne putting the new team in the old costume.
Yeah,
But
that's
I thought
cool.
it was just a fun book to pull out, because I didn't know how many of you have even seen this image before.
Never
Is
seen
that
that.
technically so it's a magazine technically?
It's a fanzine, yes. So there's like
Okay.
interviews. It's not. There's some like comic strips, like as if it was a newspaper. You know, like you'd see.
It's
some
normal
comic
comic size though.
Yes, it is regular comic size.
Wow.
So you'll see that in there, but if you open it up, you'll see like covers and like little paragraph descriptions for what Marvel and DC are dropping and what's going on in each issue. There's creator interviews, but like I said, what I really think is the best thing about Comic Reader are the covers, the front and back, because most of them, about 90% of them, are original art that you have never seen anywhere else. And they had every character you could imagine either on the front or back cover at one point or another.
So did they hire, like, did they pay the
Yeah, they
those
commissioned
artists to like
out.
create these original images? and
Yeah,
everything?
they did.
Okay, cool.
That's so
and
cool.
you know how Marvel has been doing like these hidden gem covers, which I love. I don't know who technically has this artwork now, but this would be a great source to tap into for more hidden gem type covers, because you just don't see these images anywhere else.
I have so many questions about this book.
Okay, go for it.
Well, how is Black Cat? How does she appear in there? Is it an ad or is it?
I believe it's an ad. I haven't actually opened up my copy of this yet.
There goes all my questions.
So I knew this going into it though, that it's probably more than likely it's probably an appearance of the cover, since she's on the cover of ASM 194. It's probably that, like the little cover there with the blurb next to it describing it. So
Like a preview for the issue.
yeah, I personally don't consider that a first appearance, because it's an advertisement to me, essentially, even though it's not a paid advertisement. It's a preview. It's not, I don't know.
But it's still cool to see that image in
Yeah,
books
it
like
is.
this before the issue was released to the public. So I dig it.
So, right, why does Colossus look like he's gonna go rob a bank? Right?
They all do.
They all do. And number
said they look like they're
Got
robbing
Banshee
through.
over here.
and then like
Banshee
Wolverine,
over there.
right? I know
Yeah,
he's in the
Wolverine.
classic suit, but like, why can't they, like John Byrne? Why are you doing Wolverine dirty like that? Give him his little flappies on this mask. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my
He doesn't
God,
have-
he looks like a kid with oversized costume.
I think it would have looked cool.
I
I thought it would have looked cool if Wolverine would have taken his claws and like clawed in an X.
oh yeah,
Like
he would do something like that.
Like have his hands out with his claws.
Yeah, right. Come on, like, how am I supposed to know that's Wolverine?
So there's a comic reader issue with Moon Knight on the cover. The image that's used on Marvel Spotlight 28 that predates that book, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to find it personally, but it's out there. There's a lot of really cool fanzines and magazines like that. So I appreciate that you shared that, Ryan.
Yeah,
thank you.
same.
cool.
I mean,
I just
so
thought it was
every
fun.
Little angry Wolverine.
yeah,
He looks
Just there.
disappointed. He's disappointed. In
yeah, he's disappointed that they didn't draw him with his claws out.
Yeah.
He's like, "This is not my mask, bub."
I learned something new today. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So every time, every week with the live stream, right? There's at least one or two books that I see during the live show, and I'm like, I want to get that book now. Like, that's kind of cool. But I want to know, like, if somewhere inside the book where, like, it shows Wolverine with his claws out, I got to see what that looks like.
I doubt it. Most
You
of
doubt
the
it?
time, whoever was on the cover weren't even really featured inside of the book anywhere.
Wow.
I think that they just kind of commissioned artists out and said, we want this character, give us what you have, and they just published them as they got them. That's at least my take. I don't know that to be factual. That's how I felt it went down. So this was just this was done by a company in Wisconsin, in
Wow.
Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, that published this, for about 25 years.
I feel like I've seen the guy who ran it is on. I think he's on Instagram or something.
Could be.
For some reason, there's something that I'm remembering where there's someone who is running one of those magazines, and I feel like it was that one. But
I got about a dozen or so comic readers, and I buy them primarily just for the fantastic artwork. But I got some cool ones. I got a Justice League one that is so cool. That's got Snapper Carr down front. He's just snapping away while the Justice League is fighting a big monster behind him, and some great stuff.
Awesome.
There was a dealer at Terrificon this past year that specialized
Terrificon.
in comic readers and stuff like that. He
Oh,
had
yeah.
a really, really cool collection, and I think he's on Instagram. So I'll try to send you his page because you'll get a kick
Cool.
out of it
Yeah.
if you like that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right, Ryan, Automatic Comics. What do you got?
all right, so because there was some bad mouthing of Catwoman earlier, this book came to mind. So I'm actually I'll show the interior too, just a little bit of it, but and I don't mind handling it because it is missing a ton of pages from the interior, so it's a 0.5 regardless. But so this is Batman number 3, and so this is the third appearance of Catwoman, but it is the first time that she's in her first costume, and it is a hideous costume. It doesn't look anything like the more current ones do, or the ones that they changed her into later. But this is one of my favorite covers from the early Batman run. It's like 1, 3, and 9 are my favorites, and like I said, this one's missing a bunch of pages, which is the only reason I could kind of really get it. But I'll show
We get to see the costume.
So that's what I'm gonna. Let's see here. Let me find the page, because it's luckily I was worried when I bought it because I didn't know which parts of the story were missing, and I was really hoping that the Catwoman story.
I've
was
never
not
seen the
listed.
guts of that number 3.
So let's see if we can find it here.
Man,
Okay, so
what a treat.
all right, get around this microphone here. So this is the opening splash page of that,
Oh,
and so you can
wow.
see like
Oh,
her.
yeah.
And she's wearing this like weird, creepy cat head. A big, tall, burly cat head.
That looks so scary, dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
so it's like this is not what you expect with Catwoman, but
That's
But yeah.
insane.
so that's the what she originally was envisioned as, you know.
I didn't
and,
know that.
Yeah, so let's see if there's.
And so
there's a-
this predates when she had the purple costume?
Yes, yeah,
Wow.
Proof because her first
Sometimes you
appearance was in
should
issue
go back
1.
and redo the original.
Yeah.
Wow.
But maybe we'll see that in the in this Batman movie. Like that's what they'll start her with, you know.
Little Easter egg, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like a
but
mascot, like a team mascot head on her dress.
that's like I didn't know that until I got the book and I opened. I was like, what is this? I was like, that's crazy.
Terrible. I
So,
love her.
She's like the
No.
prototype, right? It's the prototype, basically.
Well, I mean, it's still her. I mean,
Is
it's
it
the
her?
same. It's still Selena Kyle, you know, and but it's just that because I don't remember when they first name her as Selena Kyle. That's quite a bit later, but it is the same character. It's just that this is her original, original kind of like
Feline
outfit
smile.
that they came up with. So, but
Selena
yeah, somebody
Kyle was
described it as a
stewardess
giant
back then,
taxidermy
wasn't
cat
she?
head, and I like that.
Taxidermy cat head.
Oh, the movie cast just comes to mind, and that's just bad.
Wow. All right, Michelle, your turn.
All right, so I think we'll probably only have time for this second round. So I'm gonna stick with Silver Age stuff, and I kind of have a little trio here. So we have Ghost Rider 1 from 1957.
Oh, I love this book.
But this is the Western Ghost Rider, Carter Slade. It's a pretty low grade copy, but I found the complete series a while back, so I had to get it. I think it's super cool. The covers by Dick Ayers, interior pencils also by him, with inks by Vince Coletta, and the story was plotted by Dick Ayers, written by Gary Friedrich and Roy Thomas. So after this 6-issue miniseries, we would see Carter Slade appear in the Western Gunfighters series, and he also appeared in a giant-sized issue of Kid Colt. But then when Johnny Blaze first made his appearance in Marvel Spotlight 5 in 1972, they decided to change his name to the Knight Rider, and they reprinted the 6-issue series in 1974 in this Knight Rider series.
Oh.
So that is pretty neat. It's just a reprint of those three. Yeah, and then Johnny Blaze actually meets Carter Slade in 1980 in his own series in Ghost Rider 50. It's actually a really cool like time travel story where Johnny Blaze goes back to the Wild West and meets the Knight Rider. So
cool. I've seen these books around in comic book shops, but they were so beat. But I just have such an interest in the original Ghost Rider, like because I love westerns, like old western movies. I just think it's such a great concept, such a great idea, and it's so fitting for the time for back then. So like, it's just books and artwork that I would so get into.
yeah, it's really, really cool. I love his costume because it almost reminds me of Moon Knight.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, it does.
And I love Ghost Rider and Moon Knight, so this is like, and I love Western stuff too. So, yeah, I was really happy to find that 6-issue mini, even if they're super beat up copies. I still think they're pretty rad, and you can find the reprints from 1974 just under Knight Rider, and I think they actually changed his name to Phantom Rider too, at one point. So, yeah, lots of cool stuff with those characters.
Awesome.
It's all good spec book too.
Maybe, yeah.
Kevin Feige has actually said that he wants to introduce all the Ghost Riders, including the original one on the horse. So
That would be really
hadn't heard
cool.
that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
There's also an issue in the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider series where I think it's Hamilton Slade, who is a descendant of Carter Slade, and Lincoln Slade shows up to as his first appearance. I forget which issue. I think it might be 53. But yeah, I think those issues are both pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. I totally want to get those. There's like they're those like books like if I see them and if like in the wild, like I won't put them on my wish list and like look for them actively on eBay or anything, but like if I see them at a shop and if they're like for a good deal, I'm gonna swipe them up.
Yeah, that's what I did. I mean, when I saw those at my LCS, I was like, yeah, I mean, you can't pass it up. They're just too cool. So
cool. Thanks. All right, Aaron, your turn.
Good stuff. I think I'm gonna do this one because I don't see this one very often. I'm always trying to bring books you don't see as much. So this is Action Comics 521. So now we're in the 80s and not the 90s, so that's really old. Shout out to you, Ryan. This is the 9/6 off white to white pages. This is the first appearance of Vixen or Mari McCabe. So Dick Giordano cover, Jerry Conway story. You got interiors by Kurt Swan and Frank Chiramonte, I believe. But this is the first appearance of Vixen. This book, this is like a very underutilized character that's been in the Justice League, and that was in the Justice League cartoons, that 4-season run that was really good, but an underutilized character that I think could be really cool. And this book, because of the cover, it's a really dark cover, really hard to get in high grade, actually. So 9/8s are going to run you hundreds of dollars. I mean, I think a 9/8 is going to start at like $700 and go up just because it's impossible with how the cover is. So thrilled to snag a 9/6. I'm on a sort of...
Did you submit that one yourself, or did you buy
that
one graded?
I bought it, yeah. I looked at a bunch of raws, and I never found a raw that I could never find a raw that I was like, yeah, this is the one. So I bit the bullet. I waited until someone put one up, and then I snagged it. I think it's because it's off white to white pages. It went for slightly less, but I'm not really a snob with page quality, to be honest. But I think it's an underappreciated character, and I'm sort of on a mission to collect as many Justice League and just DC characters as I can, especially if they're heroes. So this is a good one, because Batman-wise, I'm only really looking for a couple Batman books. I sort of completed my Rogues and Allies gallery, so cool. This is sort of next up. Yeah, like I'm looking for a first Alfred, but that's like they're not really around, and that's like a whole different thing. So yeah, this is dope, and she's actually on the cover, which is good too. Yeah, it's true. Underappreciated. I don't know, my opinion, but
I think that's the first Vixen. Would that not be correct? Because I believe there's a second Vixen who's her daughter, I think, or granddaughter, or something like that.
Yeah. This is Mari's the original. I'm not sure if it's her daughter or granddaughter or how that plays out. Yeah. And Mari
and for that dig of the 80s, I mean, like I'm wearing Oscar the Grouch pants right now. I'm young at heart, you know.
Oh, that's good.
You never know what's going on below the
Isn't that the truth? But I'm gonna keep this, PG. This is a family channel somewhat. We're trying to tarnish Kevin's good name here.
Please.
But yeah, no, love that book.
Go ahead, tarnish it. It's all right.
And by the way, it's issue 56 of Ghost Rider with Hamilton Slade, just in case anybody was wondering. Not 53, 56.
Cool. 56. You're
Nice.
You're 3 issues off. That's all right.
Yeah.
unforgivable.
Banned. You're banned from the show now.
Cancel.
Giving out false information. How dare you? All right, guys. So that's going to do it for What's That Comic Book. I appreciate my panel for coming on and showing off some fantastic books. You guys did a great job telling some knowledge off of these books. And I hope it was knowledgeable to the people who are watching. And thank you to the people who are watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to smash that like button. That's greatly appreciated. Click that subscribe button. You know what to do. Click all the buttons, whatever. And don't forget to go in this video's description down below. Click on those links and click on those subscribe buttons, those follow buttons, all that. I'm Kevin Vidini for Superpower Review. Stay tuned. We got a giveaway coming up soon. And I'll see you guys next time. Say bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.